Hey, how's it going? Dranus here. Welcome back to Diablo 2 Resurrected. In this video we will cover more tips and tricks to get you started right away, so join me. So the first thing I want to talk about is the inventory management, and Diablo 2 Resurrected has a lot of inventory management to do. For example, as you can see, I have Grand Charms in my inventory. These charms will give passive bonuses if you keep them in your inventory, but they will also use some space in your inventory. This means that you will have less space to pick up items and keep items, and also have less space for your potions. One thing you can do to avoid this problem is to keep Horadric Cube in your inventory at all times. It's an item you get from a quest in Act 2, and once you have this one in your inventory, you have a lot of extra space. As you can see, the Horadric Cube only takes 4 spots in my inventory, but once I open it, I get 12 slots. This means that you get a lot more slots for basically nothing, so I would really recommend holding this one always in your inventory. Also remember that Grand Charms won't be active if you have them in the Horadric Cube. They need to be in your inventory. I would recommend using the Horadric Cube only for certain items you want to sell later. If you're talking about inventory management, especially in the beginning, you need a lot of potions. Health potions and mana potions. I would always recommend buying a lot of potions in the beginning when starting Diablo 2 Resurrected, especially if you are a mage-like character. Talking about the mana potions, we have the stat energy in our character sheet, and I would not recommend putting any points in energy. Not at the start of the game and also not at the end of the game, because later in the game you don't really need the energy, and at the start of the game you can rely on your mana potions. And also these points can better be spent in your vitality life pool, for example, so you get more flat defense and more flat life. Also, to keep your inventory clean, I would always recommend buying a belt as soon as you can, because a belt will give you more space for potions in your belt. So for example, as you can see, I have 4 rows now, but when I unequip this, I only have 1 row. So the faster you get the belt, the cleaner your inventory will be. Next up, I would recommend buying the Tome of Town Portal and the Tome of Identify as soon as you can. It is really nice to have these two in your inventory, especially at the start of the game, and it is a really good way to escape combat if things are hard. Also, don't forget to buy Scroll of Town Portals once this is empty, or find them in a level and pick them up, because when it is empty it doesn't work. When I buy some scrolls, you can see it will automatically be put in the right tomb. But yeah, it's a really nice thing to have at the start of the game, and I would always recommend picking these ones up. The next thing I want to talk about are the different damage sources. So once you reach a certain difficulty, mostly the hell difficulty as you can see here, the minions and the mobs will always have a certain kind of immunity. I will show you here. Let's go to the cold plains very quick. As you can see, these spearwomen have immunity to lightning, for example. These Fallens are immune to fire, as you can see. But yeah, on the hell difficulty there will always be some kind of damage source the enemy will be immune to. So I would always recommend, once you reach a higher difficulty like hell, to try to spec in 2 different damage sources. For example, with this character I have the frozen orb, so I deal cold damage. But I also went for the firewall, so I deal fire damage. This way I can deal damage and kill all the different enemies. It will happen on a rare occasion that an enemy is cold immune and fire immune together, but this won't happen very much, and I also have my mercenary, so he can kill them if I can't. The next thing, certain elite enemies. As you can read, this one, the Rakanishu, has a lot of different affixes, and I would always recommend keeping an eye on those, because sometimes you will encounter a certain enemy that has a lot of affixes and you will die very quickly. So always be sure to know what the affixes of the enemy you're fighting are, and change your playstyle accordingly to the enemy you're fighting. The last thing I would like to mention is always repairing your gear before you sell it, because most of the time the gear will increase in value and the repair cost will be minimal. This way you can get a lot of gold extra if you keep an eye on that, especially on the higher difficulties, because the gold cap will be a lot higher there. Also, I would always recommend picking up yellow items, especially in the beginning, because yellow items will sell for a lot more than grey ones or white ones or blue ones, for example. And this can be good especially at the start of the game, because this can make you a lot more money. So yeah, these were the tips and tricks I wanted to cover in this video. I will continue with this series in another video, but for now, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, and I see you in the next one. Bye.